Hi everyone, it's Jennifer and thanks for stopping back by. Today I have another product release close-up video for you, and this looks at the newest products from Mama Elephant. Many of you have said that you find these release close-up videos helpful because it helps you determine if any of the products are right for you. And I really liked this release from Mama Elephant, so I wanted to be sure to share it with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. There are stamps, dies, and inks in this. So I'll go over the inks at the end of this video, so be sure to check those out because there are some incredible colors. Let's go ahead and start with the stamps. Here's the Arctic Penguin set. I think this is going to be the most popular stamp set in this collection. These guys are so cute and they go really well with the Mama Elephant pandas that they came out with a while back. So you could team those up if you want to. There's this cute little iceberg kind of thingy here in the center, and you can put the little penguins on it along with maybe a cup of coffee or the little gift box on the bottom. I like that there's hats that can go on them. And you can do some fun ice skating cards with these too. Now I wanted to show you that there are dies that match it if you would like to get those. I did a card for this using this set, and I will share this soon here on my YouTube channel and on my blog. And you can see I cut the skates off these little guys and just made them into singing penguins. So a lot of different ways you can change it up. There's also the Jolly and Merry set, and this is great to go with the penguins because you can make it look like the penguin kind of skated along the word Merry and just put him right after the word. A lot of cute little images that team up together here. Also, there are a lot of fun sentiments on this Jolly and Merry that can be used with this stamp set with the penguins or on their own. I'm a big fan of large handwritten greetings, so this stamp set will be used often at my house. I also like when there's holiday stamp sets that can be used for non-holiday things. Like there's just some fun sentiments on here that would work just for thinking of you kind of cards in the winter. As I mentioned, I really love large handwritten greetings, and we have the Season's Greetings set here that's just beautiful. I like how classy this is, so you can, but it's also kind of playful. So you could heat emboss this with like a gold or silver and get a really elegant look, or you can use colorful inks and get a playful look. There's also some fun little snowflakes in the background, so you could really create a background with those snowflakes and keep the sentiment kind of in focus in the center. There's also the Peace on Earth stamp set that has the same feel, but these sentiments are even bigger. I like that because it can be the main element on a card, so you can keep the rest of the card very simple. These little doves would fit nicely on either side of the Peace on Earth, and there's also some other tiny little images that you can kind of build together here. I think this would be fun to stamp with Versamark ink and then kind of put on a variety of colors of embossing powders and let them blend together. In fact, I have a video coming up soon, and I'll link to it here once the video is up, but I did a mix of silver and gold thick embossing powders on the Peace on Earth sentiment and did it on vellum to create this little shaker card. So I'll be sure to share that with you soon. But you can see how elegant that sentiment is. You really don't need much else on the card. So that stamp set may be one that is good for reproducing for Christmas cards. Next, we have the little Alpine carolers. You can do a whole family of little kids here. I think they're just so cute. I really like the greetings on here too. At the top it says it's the most wonderful time of the year, which could be used on a variety of cards. And also the best way to spread Christmas cheer, singing loudly for all to hear. I just think that's adorable, and it reminds me of one of my favorite holiday movies. A lot of cute little images here, and I actually used the greeting and I used little music notes from that along with the penguins on this shaker card, which I'll be sharing soon here on my YouTube channel and on my blog. I'm really impressed that Mama Elephant was able to make some playful and some elegant stamps that still all work together or could go with a variety of styles separately. Next is the block alphabet. Now these I think would be fun for coloring, or the block party letters, sorry. These would be fun just for basic coloring, but I also think they would go really well with the Arctic penguins because they kind of look like blocks of ice. So you can kind of build up your own sentiment and make something fun and playful. Mama Elephant is celebrating their 2-year anniversary right now, and to celebrate that, they are actually giving away stamp sets and dies if you spend a certain amount of money over on their website, which I'll link to here. The products that you could get are this Happy Die, which is a fun script. It's real nice and detailed. And there's also this stamp set that goes with it. And I like the stamp set. I'm always a fan of these kind of stamp sets where they have all different occasions in one. So if you have a tight budget, the stamp set's a great option because you have everything you need in one stamp set. I love handwritten script dies. Another one is the thanks die. Now this one, I think all you have to do is die cut this from maybe a glitter paper or cover it with many layers of gold embossing powder and just stick it on a card, and it will really draw attention. It's nice and detailed and the perfect size for a card. Now is I think it's called the Insta Love. It's got this little Instagram feel to it. Now I love the little heart and that little heart balloon, and the frame is fun too. What I think would be fun to do with this frame is just grab some extra pictures, maybe some funny ones that you have left over last time you had some photos printed, put it behind that frame, and then you can take this thanks die and put it right across it, die cut the word thanks, and then you can use this as a thank you card for your kids to maybe give to grandma for a gift or after a party. Fun to team those up together. There are also these stitched border dies. I like that these dies are actually a little bit longer than a card so that you can put them on the card diagonally, which I think is very fun to do these days. So you can see they're a little bit longer than the card, so I love that. And also this one in the middle is very unique, that like bracket look. All you have to do is cut these apart with some wire cutters and then you're good to go. And it puts a nice fine faux stitch detail along the die cut edge. This little collection of circle dies are so fun because they do an impression on it too, so there's a sequin and a button. Really like the heart and the star, and this is just a great little die cut that you can kind of stick here and there on a card for fun little accents. And also these you could cover with a thick layer of embossing powder and create your own embellishments. Now back to stamps. The last stamp set in the collection is Boutique Borders. I really like the one across the top because if you stamp that in red, you have like a candy cane border for a holiday card. Also, these lines and dots you can overlap and kind of create a plaid background very easily, especially with the new colors of inks. You could create some great colorful backgrounds. Okay, now it's time to talk about these wonderful inks. I will link to an information video about these inks, so you can click here in the YouTube description below. These are great pigment inks. These are actually juicier than the ones they had before for some reason. They seem a little juicier, but you can also get refills for these pads, and I like how you can get a really solid image with these inks, and also, since they're pigment inks, you can heat emboss with them. Again, I will link to a video that shares much more about the inks. I just wanted to show you the new colors today. I also have on my blog the ink swatches for these new colors, so you can go over there and get the free download, and you'll be able to print the download and cut it up, and you can have ink swatches like the ones I share here. So let's go over the 16 colors. The first is Piggy Bank. It's a new pink ink. This is like the perfect pale pink ink. It's a little bit softer than the Hero Arts Bubblegum, and you can see it's a little pinker than the bubblegum ink that Mama Elephant came out with in a previous release. It really is just truly the perfect light pink ink. So I don't really have many that are similar to it in my collection already, but even if I had a dye ink that was similar, I would definitely want to get this pigment ink too, so they have the option of heat embossing with it, and also they blend a little bit better. Okay, next is the Posh Pink. Now this is the brightest pink ink I have in my collection. So you can see that it's very unique from all the other pink inks that I have because it is so bright. But it's not like a bad bright. It's a fantastically fun bright ink. And it goes well with some of the other bright colors that they've come out with. Next we have Tutti Frutti. This is in between a pink and a purple. I think it looks really nice with the ultra pink Hero Arts. It's a little bit lighter than it, so they would team up well together. I like this ink because it can be teamed up with pinks and it can be teamed up with purples and look nice together. So there you can see how it kind of matches up with some of the pink inks I have. It's very different than some of the pinks. It is kind of close to Lilac Posies from Luxe, but it is more vibrant and a little bit darker, and you can see it would go nicely with some of the dark purples that I have too. Next up is Coral Burst. This is a very bright coral color. Coral is very popular right now. I didn't have any pigment inks even close to this color. You can see it's a little bit brighter and darker than the Fresh Peach from Hero Arts, and it's just a great happy color that goes well with the other bright colors in this collection. It's a little more orange than my reds and a little more red than my oranges, so you can see how it compares here. It looks nicely with that Morocco Luxe pigment ink also. Then there is also the Apricot ink. This is probably my favorite color in the collection. Well, one of my favorites in this collection. You can see it works very well with the Coral Burst. It is a little more muted, I guess you would say, than the Coral Burst, but it's just the most beautiful coral color. So this is definitely a must-have from this release. I really like that it teams up nicely with some of the pool and gray colors that I'm going to show you a little bit later. But you can see it also works nicely with some of the reds that I already have, and also works with some of the yellows that I already have too. This next one is another of my favorites from this release, the Buttercup. It works really well with the Butter Bar from Hero Arts. It's a little bit lighter, but the same kind of color. And you can see that the buttery color of this is very unique compared to all the other yellow inks that I have. I prefer kind of buttery yellows over super bright yellows, so this is definitely one that I'll be using often. As I mentioned, there's several bright colors in this release, including the lemongrass, which is a bright yellowish green color. It looks really cool with that posh pink that I showed you earlier. Now we have the three kind of pool and blue colors, which I'm always a big fan of. The fresh mint is beautiful. You can see it has a little more blue to it than the other mint colors that I already have. It teams up nicely with a lot of the pool colors that I already have too. I don't have any pigment inks that are very close to this one, so that's why I'm really excited about it. And it's not too light and it's not too dark, so it's definitely a great mint color if you're needing one of those. As I mentioned, there are three kind of pool colors that are in this release. One is this fresh mint, one is rainwater, which is in the middle, and Pacific blue, which is on the right. That's the most blue of all of them. Rainwater's kind of in the middle, and fresh mint has more of a green color to it. This rainwater is just the perfect kind of pool color, and I am a big fan of those colors, but I don't have many pigment inks in that shade, so I really like this one, and I'll be showing some videos with this. Here's the Pacific blue. This is more of a blue color, so kind of like your light blue, and you can see it teams up nicely with a lot of the dark blue inks that I have, and I don't have any inks even close to this color. Next we have Stargazer. Now this blue is really cool because it's in between a blue and a navy, but it has some brightness to it that a lot of the other navy inks don't have. So it's got kind of like this cobalt kind of feel to it that's just beautiful and perfect for a night sky. And I'm going to be showing you a video soon where I use this to create a background. These pigment inks are great for blended backgrounds. Next is Dark Storm, which is a very cool dark gray. I like cool grays a lot, so you can see it matches up nicely with the slate from Simon Says Stamp. I don't have many other grays with this cool kind of tone to it, so I'm very excited about it. And it teams up nicely with the blues that I just showed you also. One of my other favorites from this release is the Moonlight ink because it's a light gray, a cool light gray. You can see it works well with the Smoke gray from a previous Mama Elephant release. You can see it's a little bit lighter even than the Soft Granite from Hero Arts. I've been looking for a soft, kind of light, cool gray, and this definitely fits a bill. So I will be using this one a lot because it's great for subtle backgrounds, and it will look so gorgeous stamped on a dark cardstock. Now we have Brown Sugar, which is like a light taupe color. It's kind of in between a gray and a brown, which is nice because you can team it up with dark browns or you can team it up with dark grays. Now in addition to that Tutti Frutti color that I showed you earlier, there are two other kind of purple colors. There is Sweet Lilac, which is really just kind of the perfect soft purple color. I think it works really well with the Eggplant, which is from a previous Mama Elephant release. Those two are beautiful together. I gotta say I'm really impressed with how well these inks stamped when I made these ink swatches. Nice solid images. Okay, the last one is Plumberry. It's kind of that purplish dark pink color. I don't have anything near this color and it works really well with that Tutti Frutti color that I showed you at the beginning of this collection. So there you have a look at all of the new inks, all 16 of them. They're beautiful inks and they stamp very well. Again, I will link here to an informative video about these inks so you can decide if they're ones that might work well for you. I will also link below to all the products I used in this video in case you're interested. And I did want to mention that I wasn't asked to do this video or paid to do this video. I just did this as a way to help you get a closer look at this collection. You could also go over to my blog at jennifermcguireinc.com for links and more information. And also stay tuned because I'll be having a few videos coming up very soon using some of these great new products. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back soon.